Hello. So, today we will be speedrunning Katana Zero, and with me on commentary is the lovely Baroti, fellow Katana
Hello.
Zero speedrunner.
Yeah, I'm me.
And today we will be running Katana Zero Hard Mode, which is a bit of an unusual category in this game. If you've played through it normally, you've probably never seen this. Now you might be thinking this looks exactly like Katana Zero. The first screen is exactly the same. Everything after that, there's going to be more enemies, harder enemies, faster enemies, and in general, everything's completely different. It's going to be a terrible time. I'm going to die a bunch. It's going to be great. And in just a second, I'm going to do the countdown, and time is going to start when I click and deflect this bullet. With 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's boogie. So,
Yeah.
Katana Zero is a game about being a sword-wielding mercenary with bullet time powers. And because we're speedrunners, we're not really going to use those bullet time powers that much, because slow motion is slow.
Except for the parts where it isn't, due to some things that it can change, which we're gonna see a bunch, in the third level of Katana Zero.
This obstacle is not there if you have slow motion disabled, which we typically will disable in the settings, but for hard mode, it's really important that we have slow motion available to us for some tricks later, and we are going to be seeing those starting with the third level club. So after this, the last screen of factory, there's going to be another level, and then after that is going to be club, where we're going to see our first trick.
Technically, there's you can use slow motion everywhere, but it's extremely difficult to use. So it's only used for a select few places.
So one little quirk about slow motion that actually does come up in this run, so I'm glad you're mentioning it.
Okay, is that was insane.
Slow motion removes the pre-jump frames when you jump. So normally when you jump, your character is stuck to the ground for a few frames before you actually leave the ground and start moving. That feels really weird in slow motion, so the game developer just turned it off, which is actually handy for a few places.
Probably. The reason for that is probably. We don't really know that. Just
it's useful for BB2 in club.
It's we don't know the reason as to why it works like that. Oh no. So here comes the first few deaths, but casually you'd be dying 100 sometimes during this run, so Lottie is doing a great job right now. Here we throw a statue to the Josh Rose, was it his name, and it just kills him. Otherwise we need a shortcut. Otherwise we just need to go to him and just slash him. Which is actually an intended skip. And here it is. Oh no.
I missed it. It's a tough little thing. I'll try it. Oh gosh.
No.
Okay. I'm just gonna do the normal strat. That's okay. So you can get a faster cycle here if you do slow motion jumps. It's very, very precise. Basically pixel perfect. So I'm just gonna do the normal strat here.
Well, it's not it's really a bit pixel perfect, but also there's RNG and also there's other stuff, but slow-mo actually just makes it a bit easier to do.
Slow motion makes it not RNG, I think. Typically it is RNG. Slow motion removes the RNG and makes it substantially easier. I missed that. That typically saves about 3 seconds. It's actually worth it on its own to turn slow motion on for that, but there are much more important tricks we've got coming up, which include it. Can you explain Super Bottle Throw? I do a variation that includes it.
Oh, okay. Wait, which one? Because it's
the same as the normal mode, but there's a little more at the end.
Okay, so basically in the next room, we'll be throwing a bottle off screen to hit a shotgun that's going to be coming out of this door that we came out of. It's being thrown right here. Oops. Yeah.
And there's
Oh, wait,
actually,
not-
you'll notice there's 2 more enemies. There's 3 enemies total, and there's only 2 bottles at the bottom. So super
Yeah.
bottle throw is one way to make sure that you get out the door as soon as possible there, and that we can just throw those projectiles backwards and kill both of the people that are chasing us. Normally there's 3, and you need to go slash one of them, or do something else clever. And throwing that bottle at the beginning, before the enemies even spawn, allows us to dome one of them in the head right as he comes out the door.
This is prison. It's hard mode because in normal there's only one enemy that comes out.
This is prison. It's normally the walking simulator level where it's all movement. They added lots and lots of enemies to the second half, so it looks like this now.
Okay, it's awful. It's really awful. The worst stage in hard mode. It's really a stark contrast to normal mode, where it's like easy peasy. And this is the hell part. Oh, good job. And now there's the enemy spam.
This room sucks.
A lot. And also you can see the enemy visual codes that they can detect. Normal mode, you can just sneak past them. Here, not so much.
Peace was never an
you
option.
can't do it.
Yep. So on this level, we're going to be visiting 3 different themed sections in a movie studio to get some key cards and open a door in the middle. Now would be a great time for a few donations before the hardest trick in the game on the 3rd section of this level.
I can gladly provide those for you. We have $12 for you from Judy, who says, "Good luck to the Katana Zero speedrunners." Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And $25 from M, who says, "Thanks for the amazing week for an important cause. Trans rights, less than 3.
I got shot.
2 amazing causes there. Time for any more?
Yeah, keep going.
Here's $25 from Callie Clism, who says, "The last week has been a blast. Just wanted to say a big thanks to all the staff and volunteers that helped make this happen. Education for all, and of course, trans rights."
Oh my gosh.
Not great, but we backed it up. Okay. This room has a turret. There's normally not very many turrets in the run at all. They're all over the place on hard mode, and they shoot bullets which travel very quickly, and their aggro mechanism is very RNG based, and they have a ton of bullets spread on them. It's a nightmare.
Actually, there's no
if you don't deal with them.
They're
Is it deterministic?
yeah, it's based on your position, but for all purposes, it's RNG for like players, humans.
It is RNG for us mere mortals.
Yeah, well, skill issue. Yay! Oh no.
Oh no. That's not how I even like to do this room. But that's okay. We expect to die a lot on this run. I die a lot even in my PB, and we are having a marathon run with marathon nerves, and it is okay.
Okay, so in the next room, there's going to be the Doom thing.
This is an auto-scroller. We're going to try and skip it. It's very tricky, and I will actually be using slow motion in order to mitigate for some of the variance that happens because of execution. The slow motion helps, but I'm going to try this trick twice. It saves about 15 seconds if you get it the first try. It's a very cool trick. It's very, very difficult. So after the second try, if I don't get it, I'm just going to do the backup strat and wait for the auto-scroller.
Like, basically what's gonna happen here is that we'll be deflecting bullets while slashing upwards, which is gonna give us an additional height. So by deflecting like 2 bullets at the same time, we'll be able to just go past this bridge right here. I mean, not bridge, just gap. Yeah, here we go. Good job. And here actually we don't have to kill all of the enemies, we can just leave them
Yep.
behind.
That's one of the only screens in the game where you're allowed to leave enemies alive. Normally, the game performs a check to make sure that you've killed all of them before you're allowed to go.
Sometimes it's just the check is kind of wonky.
There is actually a very big place where we exploit that later in the run.
And here comes the first boss of the game. Yeah, I'm correct, I think.
This is B.
B. Yeah.
He's got a gun. But we have a sword, so it's okay. He punched me. His fists are actually a lot more dangerous than the gun is. Okay, I'm happy with that. It's really easy to die a lot there if you're not careful.
In normal mode, he's just kind of like a bit slow, but in hard mode, he just goes zoom.
The hard mode is precisely the same as the normal mode version of that boss, except he's faster, which means the frame windows on killing him for the quick kill as he gets up are a lot shorter, and it is a lot easier to change Fs.
Yeah, we just abuse his AI during the fight to just get him to the corner, bully him. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no. This button is really annoying.
That screen is very hard, and the bottom floor there is very, very, very hard to back up, so I'm quite happy that I've gotten it second try there, honestly. We've blown up the generator, so it's dark now. The enemy AI is going to be very different. They are still extraordinarily aggressive. Normally, they take quite a while to see you in normal mode. I believe they are better at seeing you on hard mode in this section. Uh-oh.
Or just maybe like enemies interacting with each other when one of them sees you. And yeah, just general hard mode stuff. Oh no. Okay,
one thing I haven't called out is those red guys. Those are not an enemy in normal mode. They look very similar to another enemy that holds the crowbar. We call them Ricky. They are all Ricky. Ricky is all of their names. They're called Skinny Ricky. The ones wearing red with the red headbands are called Karate Ricky because they've done what no Dark Souls boss has ever learned and picked up karate, which of course lets them hit you during your invincible dodge roll. It's terrible. We do not like them.
Yeah, they're awful because like this is like literally the only enemy that can interact with your roll.
Typically during your roll, you're invincible for a majority of the time, and you can be rolling a majority of the time. Karate Rickies force you to adopt some very interesting strategies to get around groups of enemies.
Most of them just result in like, you know, slashing them from the front. But
yeah, there are a lot of enemies that are a lot easier if you can roll through them and hit them from behind. And if there's a Karate Ricky in the pack, you're just not allowed to.
Yeah, it complicates with like other enemies at the same time. Especially when there's a shield guy involved.
This fight's the same as normal mode. He's a bit faster, and he takes more hits to kill, which means that if you die, you lose a tremendous amount of time and feel very bad. Moto is the same as normal mode, but the bullets are faster and the AI is meaner, and there's a lot of RNG, and it's very easy to die, and it kind of sucks, but there's not much to talk about, so now would be a great time for donations.
Wonderful, wonderful. Here's $10 for you from Jen Fields, who says, watching the opening cutscene as intended, the galaxy is at peace. Less than 3. Oh, hey, what a wonderful opportunity to update y'all on we're only a little over $1,500 away from watching the opening cutscene for Super Metroid. Y'all have until the end of the Katana Zero task that's coming up next to get in your donations for that one. Also have for you another $25 from Cece, who says, all the best to our runners, commentators, hosts, crew, and everyone on the Fatales team. Making a live show work is a huge undertaking, and you have all our love and respect. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for being our lovely audience.
So,
time for any more?
Yeah, one more.
One more? I got a quick one for you. I got $100 here from Vachiome, who says, less than 3? Thank you.
Thank you.
oh. So here comes the helicopter fight, which is
this boss is the worst and the biggest source of RNG in the run. It is possible to mitigate all of the RNG, but you need to do a lot more reacting than you do in the rest of the game. You absolutely cannot rely on muscle memory, and some patterns are drastically more difficult than others.
And also, yeah, thanks for the huge RNG part here. Oh, nice. It wasn't that bad.
That one was actually really hard. I'm surprised I lived it.
Time for
Here's
the most
Chinatown.
exciting.
This guy has a machine gun, which is not normal. Those do not exist in normal mode. And we're going to see a lot more of them.
And here comes the exciting part of the run, Chinatown.
Here, we're going to use a trick with doors that Barodi will explain.
Okay, so basically, in this level we're gonna skip killing a bunch of them by going through the doors right now, when all of the enemies are just going through the doors, which that's kind of like deletes them out of existence, so you can just, so it counts them as dead, so you can proceed to the next level, even though they appear a bit later. Okay.
It's their lucky day. They live because it's faster. It's not actually faster. It loses like a fifth of a second compared to the fastest strat, but it's so much easier. It's drastically better for full runs. Forget about marathons.
So, after this room, there's going to be the Dragon stage, where we gain access to another character, 15, and he gets a special ability, which lets him just dash forward and just kill everyone in this path.
Earlier in the game, you might remember that we were accused of being the dragon. The character we play for most of the game is not the dragon, because this is the dragon, and he can do that, which is not normal.
Well, it is normal for him.
It is normal for him. But he does make our typical bullet time powers look like chump change.
And, well, he does have the ability to manipulate time as well, so Zero does not have much against him.
Zero can throw items, which is better. It's not better, but it's much easier in some
slower,
places.
So it's worse. Here we'll be able to see a skip. A huge one.
This skip saves approximately 70 seconds and is the biggest reason why we need slow motion for hard mode.
And this skip is actually intended in normal mode, but is not intended in hard mode.
They left it in because they didn't bother changing the coding for any of it, but it is the enemies are laid out in such a way that specifically is meant to disallow it.
No, not even that. It's like
oh wow!
Even after you kill every single enemy, if you roll through the camera, you still get activated. So it's specifically made so you couldn't skip this skip.
But we save a bunch of boring cutscenes and a boss fight and some enemy segments. It is a very, very big deal that we're able to do that.
Okay, that went nicely. Nice.
That guy is not supposed to go downstairs.
Oh, heck.
That's okay. This is one of the hardest screens in the game, I think. And it is okay if we die a time or two. If you are on a PB pace, this screen will absolutely kill your run. But we kind of expect to lose some time there on an average run on a no reset.
And here comes the skip.
Yep. Here we're going to be rolling in some specific patterns to avoid these cameras, which basically shoot a laser beam down to the bottom of the room. These cameras will normally not be an option for you to skip in hard mode, but because we did that trick at the beginning with the slow motion, we're able to roll through them like normal and skip some cutscenes.
And here comes the bunker, the room, the stage where we complete each room back to back and enter elevators.
It's WarioWare. There's not a turret there normally, and the lasers are much slower, but that is okay.
I think the turret is there. Like,
Is it? Oh, you're right. I forget about it because the turret's not a threat in normal mode. Turrets in hard mode scare me. They strike fear into my heart. Now would be a good time for a donation. After this level, the rest of the run is pretty tight right up until the end, so...
Surely. Here's $125 for you from Calico Fan, who says, "Love the work GDQ has done with every event. Though I don't identify as a woman anymore, I was raised by two powerful women. I know they're probably not watching, but Grandma, Auntie, I love you and thank you for taking care of me." Oh, that's so heartwarming.
That's very cute.
Do you have time for a little more gratitude?
Yeah.
We have another $125 from Tertiary Lanes, who says, "Thanks for all you do." And I'd also love to share with you, here's $25 from Exceptional Potato. They didn't leave a comment. If you give me the opportunity to read a donation from an Exceptional Potato, I will.
We like potatoes.
It's
Gotta be one of the best
exceptional.
starches. We have a gun.
Yeah.
This is the part where we have a gun. We no longer have a gun. You'll notice that we didn't shoot it.
Yeah, because we threw it.
Just like we throw everything else. It's all we know how to do.
Oh yeah, here comes the most annoying room in the whole game, because like it's absolutely huge, especially in hard mode, where enemies are literally everywhere.
Absolutely
Like,
enormous time loss if you die. And it's the last room in the game before the final boss. The final boss in hard mode is also actually challenging, drastically more so than the normal mid version. So the end of the run in hard mode is quite tense. It's actually quite hard to close runs out, but we are hopefully going to finish this here in a second. And I am going to be quiet and try and do this without dying, hopefully. Anymore.
Yeah, well, actually, the second part of the boss is still like easy on hard mode and normal mode, but the first part is like really annoying. As like in the normal mode, like there's enemies like coming out of everywhere, but it's very manageable as there aren't like many enemies. But in hard mode, oh boy. And also the combination of them is like really annoying. I don't know. I was almost done.
The ending of this room is probably by far the hardest part of it, which is unfortunate because it's at the end of a very long room. I'm doing actually a pretty safe strat there, and I still messed it up a few times. But we're going into the final boss now. This is Headhunter. She's got a laser cannon and henchman. That was odd. That is also odd. Come back.
Yeah, usually you just hit her when she just literally appears.
In a casual playthrough, the gimmick of this boss is that she also has precognizant powers. So in addition to having slow motion powers, your character can see the future, and your attempts at rooms represent possible futures. And this boss fight really throws you off because she talks to you and says different dialogue in the middle of you planning how to kill her. And this is the end of the game. I've defeated the boss, and time is going to be in just a sec when I walk through this door. Ding.
Yay!
That's it. That's the end of the
job.
game. Yep.
GG.
GG. I think we can probably save any shoutouts we have for the end of the next run, because after this we're going to be going into Barodi's run, which is a task of the normal mode category of this game. So we can save our things for the end of that, and I think Pippy probably has some more stuff to say right now.
I do indeed. We're going to have a quick break before we come back with that more Katana Zero, our Katana Zero task run. But we will be taking just a moment to do our tech turnover and get everybody ready. We also, during the end of that run, now have a less than $1,500 remaining on the Super Metroid Watch Opening Cutscenes incentive. If you like watching a nice movie before your speedrun, then please don't forget to click on that incentive if you are donating. We're going to have a quick break. I'll miss you all greatly. But first, a quick message with $10 from Wolf Shadow, one of our fellow runners, who says, "Hello to all my fellow fatales on the evening of the final day. Here is my required donation at 5 times 2 as my penance for dying twice during my run earlier in the marathon. Much love to all the other runners, both past, current, and present, the volunteers, staff, and everyone who puts these events together. Let's all enjoy Katana Zero, less than 3. Thank you everyone so much, and I'll see more Katana Zero with you after the break. 2023. This is our final day of the marathon, and during that short break, I did miss you all very deeply. We are here benefiting Malala Fund and watching some amazingly chill speedruns, and also receiving some incredibly generous donations, like $25 from Happy Bear, who says, I have composed a haiku in honor of the Super Metroid opening cutscene incentive. Faith is stalking prey. It's the Metroid cutscene chat. Nom nom nom. Beautiful. That's excellent poetry. I think I know good poetry when I see it. But it's also a wonderful reminder that we are hoping to meet that Super Metroid opening cutscene incentive. We are currently less than $1,300 away, and I know that doesn't sound like much, but the Katana Zero task is going to go real quick. So please, I would love to see those cutscenes. Also, every dollar raised, whether you choose to click that incentive button or not, which you should totally click the incentive button, by the way, every dollar raised goes towards beating Fatale's previous PB from Flame Fatale's 2022, which was $137,174. And we can totally beat it. We're less than $15,000 away. I have faith in us, and that will add inscription to the schedule. Now, I would also like to share with you in this moment a word for you from us? A word from Frost Fatales, which is presented by Frame Fatales, an all-women community for those who are interested in speedrunning, charity events, and gaming in general. In addition to our two flagship events, Frost Fatales and Flame Fatales, we have a supportive community Discord with activities year-round, including Game of the Month, randomizer events. If you are a woman and would like to join the Frame Fatales Discord server, DM the @FrameFatales Twitter account or the GDQ Instagram account, or send an email to framefatales@gamesdonequick.com. All women, cis, trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming are welcome to join. Can attest, it's a lovely, lovely space. Don't you want to join us? I also have a word for you from the Japanese Restream, from us on behalf of the Japanese Restream, which is that we would like to thank the Japanese Restream for providing an alternate language broadcast of Frost Fatales 2023. Japanese Restream is a community where people can enjoy various speedrun events held abroad in Japanese. They are broadcasting the event at twitch.tv/Japanese_Restream on a delay. Check out the schedule by doing !Restream in the chat. We would love for viewers to join their stream and support the event. And we do have so many lovely donations coming in. I have $25 here from the Bapmeister, who says, in the spirit of Metroid and gaming in general, keep the plot going. Show that cutscene. That's rather demanding, but I agree with your demands. I would love to meet your demands. Another $25 from Slamscape, who says less than 3, but spelled out. It's still really cute. I do love less than 3. Here's another $25 from Alien Crustacean, who says less than 3, but like the symbols. Which way is correct? We also have $25 here from Bardic Feline, who says more Metroid is always a good thing. Always. So here's $25 so we can hopefully bask in the glory of that beautiful Super Metroid opening cutscene. Yes, I want to bask in glory. Help me bask in glory, chat. I believe in you. You just have to donate. The money goes to Malala Fund, and remember to click that incentive when you are doing your donation. That's what helps us get closer. Here's another $25 donation from Dr. John W., who says, thank you all for a week of amazing runs. But don't worry, Dr. John W. The week's not over yet. And nor are the amazing runs. So we are back with Modulottie and Brody at the helm this time with more Katana Zero. Take it away, y'all.